If you're a man over 60, please stop whatever you're doing and listen carefully. You've been told to eat more vegetables for your heart, your weight, your overall health. But what if I told you that 3 common vegetables sitting right now in your kitchen could be slowly destroying your testosterone, inflaming your prostate, and stealing your energy as a man? This isn't fear-mongering. It's medical reality. And you deserve to know the truth, because the weakness, the fatigue, the loss of drive, it's not just aging. It could be the result of what's on your plate. And once you understand how certain vegetables affect your hormones, everything changes. Let me explain how something so innocent could be so dangerous. As a medical doctor who's worked closely with older men for over 2 decades, I've seen one silent mistake repeat itself, again and again. These men are not careless. In fact, they think they're doing everything right. They've cut down on red meat. They drink soy milk. They've replaced butter with heart-healthy oils. They start their day with a big green smoothie, thinking it will boost their energy. But here's the painful truth. Those very habits, promoted as healthy, are slowly robbing them of strength, masculinity, and motivation. Not by accident, but by misunderstanding. And their bodies are quietly paying the price. Soy, the estrogen trap. You've been told for years that soy is a healthier choice. Soy milk, tofu, edamame. They've been promoted as perfect alternatives to meat and dairy. But here's what most men don't realize. Soy is rich in phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic the female hormone estrogen in the male body. Let me tell you about Mr. Suresh, 68, a retired engineer from Pune. He had switched to soy milk and tofu on his cardiologist's advice. He felt proud until he started noticing fatigue, mood dips, and trouble in the bedroom. When we tested his hormones, his testosterone was low and his estrogen levels were high. That heart-healthy diet was quietly disrupting his manhood. I recommended he reduce soy drastically and add more eggs, paneer, and lentils for protein. Within 4 weeks, his energy returned, and so did his confidence. I'm not saying soy is evil, but if you're over 60, already losing testosterone naturally, the last thing your body needs is more estrogen. Sometimes, even healthy foods require a second look, especially when your hormones are shifting. 2. Corn oil, the inflammation driver. Corn seems harmless. After all, it's a staple in Indian households: corn flour, cornflakes, corn oil. But here's what most people don't realize. Processed corn products are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which cause inflammation when not balanced with omega-3s. Mr. Ravi, 62, from Ahmedabad, was a vegetarian who avoided ghee and used corn oil in everything, believing it was the healthier choice. But he came to me complaining of stiff joints, fatigue, and erectile dysfunction. Blood tests showed markers of chronic inflammation. His arteries were showing early signs of stiffness. The culprit? Excess omega-6 fats from daily use of corn oil and processed snacks. We replaced his corn oil with cold-pressed mustard oil and added walnuts, flax seeds, and fish oil capsules to his diet. Within a month, his joint pain decreased, his energy improved, and his circulation tests were better than expected. Here's the truth. Your arteries are like garden hoses. Inflammation narrows them, reducing blood flow to where you need it most. Corn oil may look vegetarian, but its effects on your system are far from gentle. For men over 60, blood flow is life, and what you cook with matters more than you think. 3. Raw spinach. The zinc thief spinach? Surely not. It's in every health article, every smoothie bowl. But here's what they rarely tell you. Raw spinach is loaded with oxalates, compounds that bind to minerals like zinc and flush them out of your body. And zinc, my friend, is vital for your testosterone production. Let me introduce you to Mr. Manohar, 7, a retired PE teacher from Hyderabad. Fit and disciplined, he started each day with a tall smoothie packed with raw spinach, banana, and almond milk. He felt clean, but over time his drive declined. His libido faded. He didn't feel like himself. When we checked his blood work, his zinc levels were low, and his testosterone was barely holding on. All because his daily spinach was robbing his minerals. We switched his smoothie for an omelet with sautéed spinach and nuts. No raw greens, no oxalate overload. 3 weeks later, he smiled and said, "Doctor, I finally feel like me again." Spinach is not the enemy, but the way you prepare it can be. If you're over 60, gently cooking your greens can mean the difference between feeling tired and feeling like a man again. Beets, the circulation booster. If poor blood flow is the problem, beets are your one-man army. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, the very compound that relaxes your blood vessels and improves circulation. And for older men, good circulation isn't just about heart health. It's about energy, stamina, and sexual function. Take Mr. Dinesh, 70, a retired postmaster from Kerala. He had good blood pressure, but always felt cold, tired, and mentally foggy. He also said, "I haven't woken up with an erection in years." His nitric oxide levels were low. We started him on fresh beetroot juice, 100 milliliters daily, mixed with a little ginger and lemon. Within 2 weeks, his mental clarity improved. Within a month, he smiled and said, "Something's coming back, doctor. But here's the catch. Canned or pickled beets don't work. The high heat and preservatives destroy most of the active nitrates. So whether you roast them lightly, steam them, or drink them fresh, beets must be fresh and minimally cooked. If you want to revive blood flow at 60 plus, start with what your blood vessels love best. Beets. 2. Broccoli, the hormone balancer. Most men focus only on raising testosterone, but the real key to hormonal health, keeping estrogen under control, that's where broccoli comes in. Broccoli contains a compound called sulforaphane, which helps your liver clear out excess estrogen and inflammation, especially useful as you age. Let's talk about Mr. Harish, 65, from Bengaluru. He was eating broccoli daily, microwaving it until soft. Yet he still had belly fat, night urination, and cloudy thinking. When we looked closer, the issue wasn't what he ate, but how he cooked it. Sulforaphane is destroyed by high heat. Overcooked or microwaved broccoli loses its hormonal benefits, so we made a small change. Steam broccoli for 3 minutes max, or eat it raw with a little hummus or yogurt dip. 2 weeks later, he reported less bloating, better energy, and clearer sleep patterns. Broccoli won't make you young again, but it can help your hormones rebalance gently and naturally. For men over 60, it's one of the most powerful vegetables to protect the prostate and detox the system. And it's affordable, accessible, and, if prepared right, surprisingly effective. 3. Mushrooms, the testosterone protector. Here's something most men have never heard. Your body might be turning your testosterone into estrogen, without you knowing it. That's the work of an enzyme called aromatase, which becomes more active with age, especially if you carry belly fat. So even if you make testosterone, aromatase might be converting it into something useless. That's where mushrooms step in, especially plain white button mushrooms. Mohan, 69, from Lucknow, was an avid walker and ate well. But he said, "Doctor, I feel calm, but not like a man anymore." His labs showed healthy testosterone production, but also high aromatase activity. The fix? We added sautéed mushrooms to his lunch 3 times a week, cooked with garlic and olive oil. In 3 weeks, his spark returned. He even joked, "I don't feel 30, but I feel like I'm back on my side of 60. Mushrooms don't raise testosterone directly, but they block the enzyme that steals it, keeping more of your natural testosterone free and active. If you want to protect what your body still produces, don't skip mushrooms. They're not fancy, but they are scientifically powerful. You've probably heard of zinc and magnesium, but have you heard of boron? It's a trace mineral, meaning your body only needs a tiny amount, but that tiny amount can make a massive difference, especially for men over 60. Let me explain why. In your blood, there's a protein called HPG, sex hormone binding globulin. It sounds technical, but here's the simple truth. HPG binds to your testosterone and makes it inactive. So even if your body produces testosterone, it may be locked away, unusable. This is where boron comes in. Boron lowers SHBG, which means more of your testosterone stays free and active. More free testosterone equals more energy, better mood, clearer thinking, improved libido. Let me tell you about Mr. Naresh, 66, from Surat. He wasn't interested in supplements or gym workouts, but after learning about boron, he added just a few raisins and 2-3 dates to his afternoon snack, and half an avocado in his salad. That's it. A month later, he came back with a gentle smile and said, "I feel sharper, lighter, like I've woken up from a long nap." That's the power of a small, overlooked mineral. And the best part, you don't need expensive pills. You can get boron from raisins, dates, avocados, prunes, chickpeas. Your body knows how to heal. You just need to give it the tools. Sometimes it's not about doing more. It's about doing one small thing right and letting nature take care of the rest. Now that you know the enemies to avoid and the heroes to embrace, let's bring it all together into a simple daily plan. Because knowledge is power, but only when it's applied with care and consistency. Step 1. Morning. Fuel with hormone-friendly foods. Start your day with a light, warming breakfast. Avoid smoothies filled with raw greens and cold fruits. Instead, go for 2 boiled eggs or a veggie omelet with lightly sautéed spinach or mushrooms. A slice of whole grain toast with avocado, a few raisins or dates on the side for boron. Why this works? It provides clean protein, healthy fats, and essential minerals like zinc and boron without sugar spikes or mineral loss. Timing tip: eat within 1 hour of waking up. Your hormones are most responsive in the morning. Don't skip. Step 2. Midday. Support circulation. Naturally, this is the time to boost nitric oxide and maintain steady energy without overwhelming digestion. Have steamed or roasted beets with lunch, not pickled. Include a palm-sized portion of lentils or chickpeas for plant protein. Add a handful of lightly steamed broccoli. You can pair this with grilled paneer, fish, or dal. Avoid corn oil, soy chunks, or ready-made sauces. Important: keep lunch colorful and warm. Avoid raw salads with uncooked spinach. Opt for blanched or lightly sautéed. Step 3. Evening. Calm the body. Protect the hormones. Dinner should be light, but not empty. An empty stomach at night may seem healthy, but it can stress the body and affect sleep hormones. Your goal: avoid sugar crashes, support prostate repair, and preserve testosterone overnight. Try a bowl of moong dal khichdi with ghee, sautéed mushrooms with garlic, steamed broccoli again, but don't overcook. Herbal teas like tulsi or chamomile, no soy milk, no sugar. Bonus: finish dinner by 7:30 p.m. if possible. Give your body 2-3 hours to digest before bed. Cooking techniques matter. Steam instead of boil. Light sauté instead of deep fry. Avoid microwaving vegetables. Say no to margarine and refined oils, especially corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil. Use traditional options like cold-pressed mustard oil, ghee or coconut oil in moderation. Your testosterone doesn't need a miracle. It needs a clear, quiet space, free of blockers, rich in gentle support. Consistency over perfection. You don't need to follow a rigid diet. You don't need to detox or go vegan. What you need is balance. Fewer hormone disruptors, more natural hormone protectors. Meals that are timed well. Cooking that respects the nutrients. Remember, food is not just fuel. For a man over 60, food is medicine, or poison, depending on how you use it. Let your plate become your pharmacy. Let's pause for a moment. You've just learned how soy, corn oil, and raw spinach, things you were told were healthy, might have been slowly weakening your system. You've also seen how simple foods like beets, broccoli, and mushrooms can support your hormones, your circulation, and your sense of self. This isn't just about vegetables. It's about something much deeper. It's about the quiet loss of confidence that many men feel after 60, but rarely talk about. It's about waking up one day and not recognizing your own energy, your own body, your own reflection. And it's about reclaiming that, not with medicine, not with supplements, but with food, timing, and understanding. I didn't feel like a man anymore. I've heard this sentence more than I can count. Not from weak men, not from men who gave up. From strong, responsible men, fathers, grandfathers, husbands, widowers, men who carried families, fought illnesses, worked decades with discipline, only to suddenly feel diminished. But here's the truth no one tells you. What used to be healthy at 40 may no longer be safe at 70. Your body has changed, not broken, just evolved, and it deserves to be treated with precision, not punishment. It's not about eating less. It's about eating right. It's not about chasing youth. It's about respecting your biology now. You are not fragile, but you are different. Most advice for seniors is soaked in fear. They tell you to be careful, to slow down, to accept decline. But I've seen the opposite. I've seen men bounce back from fatigue, erectile dysfunction, and brain fog just by removing silent saboteurs from their diet. I've seen men rediscover sharpness, drive, and intimacy without a single pill. And what they all had in common was the willingness to try something new, something small, something natural. They didn't wait for a crisis. They listened to the quiet signals and responded with care. The truth is, you still have power. The power to choose, the power to change, the power to protect what matters most. Your mind, your body, your dignity. It doesn't take extreme effort. It takes attention, patience, and faith. Your body still wants to heal. Your hormones still want to balance. Your blood still wants to flow. But it needs your support, not by pushing harder, but by choosing smarter. So don't let a label like old age steal your spark. Because if you're listening to this now, you've already proven something. You care. And that alone puts you miles ahead. Final thought. You are strong. You are wise. And you are worth protecting, not just by doctors, but by yourself. This journey you're on, it's not about living forever. It's about living well, with clarity, strength, and a little bit of fire in your eyes. Let every bite you take remind you. You're not finished. You're not fading. You're simply entering your next chapter. And this time, you're in control. If you've made it to this point, I want to thank you. Not just for watching, but for caring. Most people never make it this far. They click away. They scroll past. But you stayed. And that tells me something important. You're not looking for a quick fix. You're looking for truth. You're looking for a way forward that honors your body and your age, without shame or shortcuts. And that's what this channel is here for. Seniors Active Living isn't just another health page. It's a space for men like you. Men who still believe in taking ownership of their health, one habit at a time. If this video helped you, even just a little, I invite you to type 1 in the comments below. If not, type 0 and tell me why. I read every comment. Your feedback helps me learn. It helps us grow. And more importantly, it helps the next man who comes here, tired and uncertain, looking for answers. Your story, your single line, could be the sign he needed. You never know who needs to hear this. A friend, a brother, your son, your neighbor who hasn't been himself lately. Share this video with someone you care about. Not because it's mine, but because the information could save energy, motivation, even a marriage. Too many men suffer in silence. But you don't have to. This is not the last time we'll talk. Every week, I post new videos just like this. Simple, honest, and backed by science to help men over 60 feel like themselves again. So please, click subscribe and turn on the bell icon. That way, you'll never miss a tip, a story, or a breakthrough that could change how you feel in your body. I started this channel not to sell a miracle, but to protect wisdom. Because the older men I've worked with, they are not broken. They're brilliant. They just needed the right tools and someone to remind them they're worth the effort. So if this message reached you, please let me know in the comments. Let's make this more than a video. Let's make it a movement where every man over 60 reclaims his power, his dignity, and his peace. We're here with you. We're cheering for you. And we'll be back next week, right here on Seniors Active Living. Take care of yourself. You matter.